Hi and welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about file extensions. You know, the things like .exe, .text, .png, stuff like this. If you are using Windows, you are pretty used to them. Every executable file has a .exe, or most of them. A .txt is a text file, a .png is a image file. Then there are 1,000 other different file extensions. And for the most part, this doesn't matter. When I started on the computer, I was mostly playing video games, started on Windows, knew the most popular file extensions, and didn't care about them. But when I started on Linux operating systems, I noticed there are a lot of differences between those file extensions, and there are some things I think are worth knowing about. So what I found out is on Linux, you don't need to have a file extension. So here I have this .txt file, which is fine on Linux. I can use it. But if I do the same without a file extension, I can just open this up and it works the same. I can just type here, test, type, no problem. Works the same as this one. Linux works differently with file extensions than Windows, because on Linux you have a different interpreter, which is just taking the content of a file, reading through it or skipping through it, and trying to guess what file or what program to use to open this file. On Windows, file extensions are mandatory, so or I think they are mandatory at least. So if you don't have a file extension, Windows doesn't know what to do with the file and can't open the file. So, but file extensions still have their place, because now with this file I know it's a text file. Just as simple as it gets. With this file, I'm a little bit confused. I don't know exactly what this file can be. It's mostly a text file without an extension, but I can't be sure. So what I can also do is I can change the extension. But if I now change this extension to .png, now notice this file is still open. I can close without changes. Just close this up again. Now I have this test.png. And remember, there was text inside of this file. If I open it up now, Linux says to me, you could not load this image because there was an error. Well, that makes sense, because inside of this file was just simple plain text and not image data. So it can't open this file as an image, because I specified this file should be an image. But I open it and Linux says, dude, there is no image, there's just text, so I can't open this. Now I can change this back by renaming it to .txt, and it should work as before. Yes, because the data isn't corrupted or the data isn't lost, it just can't read the data as specified. That's the problem. But now you're probably wondering, okay, there are PNG, TXT, and exe, but who actually created those? Well, who created file extensions? I don't actually know. I think some of the guys in the early times of the computer, but you can yourself create file extensions, which is just like I can say touch test .philip. Now I have a test.philip file, which is working just as every other text file. Now I can type test philip. I can save this. I can close it. I can open it again, and it works just like a txt file. The thing is, if I want to do an image extension or another extension, I have to specify some code inside of this file. So I can probably create an image file, but I need to specify code inside of this file just to get the right things that are needed by an interpreter to open this file and display an image. Because if any program is using this to create an image, it's probably like, okay, there is nothing I can use to create an image from this. There's just text. Yeah. Now I can also change this up and rename this just to test. Or I have actually, oh no, I can't. What? That's interesting. Okay, I can change it to this. I don't know why I can't change it to .txt. Because never mind, because it's already there. That's why I can't change it to txt. This was a mind bug. So now I have a .txt file. That's how file extensions work. If I do the same in Windows, I can just open my Windows my Windows Explorer here, create a .txt file, name this test, open this up, write something, test, text. Now I have a notepad with my test text, and just notice that Windows automatically opens the notepad because that's my specified program to use for .txt files. Now if I rename this file and try to do nothing at the end, I say yes, and now it's trying to open, but it doesn't know which program to open it with. Now I can open it with the notepad and it works. But Windows at first is not able to open this file. Because it's just like, there is no extension, I don't know what to do with this. Windows has no standard interpreter for blank files. Yeah. And I think that's the main difference between files on Windows and Linux. And I hope I could give you a little insight into file extensions. You can use basically anything as a file extension as long as you have the right encoding inside of this file. So you can, if you have an image encoding for some image, you can use this test.phylip and you can create your own image file with the .phylip extension, for example. There are other file extensions that are commonly used but don't have any specified encoding inside of them. These are .out files, for example. If you have an output, then you just say, I don't know, program.out, and inside of this .out file is the output that the program just created. And so you know, okay, inside of this file or inside of my .out files, I find output. So it's recommended, if you create your own extension, that you have an extension that a lot of people know what to do with. So if I have this .phylip extension, probably most people don't know what to do with it, because I don't really know what to do with it. That's basically the basics behind file extensions. And I just wanted to share this because in my early days of using the computer or starting then with Linux, I came over this and I was wondering, okay, why is this used? Why is this like this? And yeah, I wanted to tell you, and I hope I could lighten your knowledge into file extensions a little bit. If so, consider leaving a like and subscribing. And if you have any questions, just ask me in the comments. I try to answer them as quickly as possible. And with that, I'm gonna say goodbye and see you in the next video.